good and bad UX in 2024.
Being vulnerable, right? Like at some point of your management career, right? Put you on the spot there.
Cut that part. I know it's not because of me. Same time, I'm very sad.
Now that I said it here, probably have to make it
You
work.
have to execute.
What is it like interviewing for a new role?
Hang on, guys. This is like design 101.
The worst
I
one.
cannot
Wow,
share.
you already said the worst one. I cannot say already.
Hello, welcome back to the Design Thinking Club podcast. Today we in a new episode 3.
Yes, it's only
Yeah.
two of us today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lighter episode lah this time around. It's the end of the year. Most of us are on holidays anyway. Not really interested to learn new things. So we're gonna save the good episode for next year in January. Stay tuned. But in the meantime, we're gonna talk about what we've learned this year, and maybe we touch a bit on what's new next year or what's coming for us. And then later, we're gonna talk a bit more about good and bad UX in 2024. Okay?
Good and bad UX. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to start? Lesson learned this year?
Lesson learned. I think outside of work lah, I guess, like outside of the day-to-day work stuff. I think one thing that I tried to dive a bit deeper this year is the idea of like a building products using AI. Like as a developer, because I mean, right, I also built some like side project for fun. So the idea of using those kind of AI tools, like what is it called, Cursor, Claude AI and those stuff, like, so those are pretty interesting because all this while I know about like, some front end stuff and some React JS, know enough to build something. But those tools actually really help to accelerate that process.
Yeah.
Sometimes just lazy to Google. Because when you are not a full-time developer, you forgot certain things, forgot some concepts. So when you have that kind of tools on the side of your, the programming tools.
It's your assistant.
Yeah, it's like, I just tell the let's say the cursor, right? I just tell cursor to change this into a 2-column layout, for example. Right? Yeah, everything is done. So I think that is probably one of my takeaway this year. Although it's not related to work, but it's something that was pretty interesting to experience lah. I think this year.
I did try a bit Claude AI. It was freaking amazing. Like for me previously, someone who knows design, now I can see myself also building an app myself, right? Previously, of course, I know some coding, but it's more like HTML, CSS, like
now you can actually
very, very
make
basic.
it into a functional thing, right? Yeah, because I saw a lot of people on Twitter also, like they share, like especially designers like building their first Figma plugin and all that, just using this AI tool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like, wow, actually designers who have ideas now can just actually make it work.
Make it come to life.
Yeah,
right?
finally. You need to find your developer who want to help.
Yeah. Is there a specific like feature or product you created?
I was working on, I mean, it's not a completed or finished product or anything, but I was building this thing for fun that I shared on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. It's like when the idea is that you can, let's say you take your design, let's say a screenshot of your design, you drag it into these tools that I created. It's like it's just a web app, right? And then it will give you a structured feedback, like what's good about it, what's bad about it, and some relevant UX laws that apply to that feedback. And you can click to go and read more about it. Yeah. Actually, I also have this section where like related reading materials, like, or you can learn by clicking this link, go to like Special Magazine, all that. I after some time I realized those fake links hallucinated by the AI. When you click on it, all goes to 404 page.
Oh no.
Like, I don't know how to fix that, so I slowly forgot about it. Yeah. So, but the idea is that so I can just get feedback, a structured feedback on what to do, what to improve, and what to read more about that design. Yeah. So
when is it going to live?
probably never. I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm probably just gonna put a link somewhere people can put their ChatGPT API ID and all that, API key, so they can use it yourself. But I don't think I'll continue further. But there's the idea of I managed to build it using those kind of tools lah. Yeah, that's fun. What do you use the cursor for? Anything you built?
I didn't use cursor. I use
Cloud.
Yeah. No, nothing specific actually. I was just like testing some of a web feature lah. I didn't build anything specifically, but I was more like testing the app.
Okay.
So I say I want to create a web app to do this, and then essentially I did a color picker app.
Oh, okay.
Right. Actually for color blindness.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a few apps in Mac OS where it tried to you can use a color picker to choose on a color on the display and tells you like, okay, this is orange, this is green, right? That was very useful. But I wanted to replicate that, or if I want to improve it, I use Cloud AI. But of course, I think that you still need some coding skills, right? To like,
I think at some point you get overwhelmed by the changes that the tools provide, because you don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think some kind of background in programming will help lah. Yeah, but I mean you can still continue to ask questions until you figure out. Yeah, that's my one of my takeaway. Yeah, how about you?
I haven't really think about this as well, actually, but maybe I think one thing I can highlight is actually design thinking.
Yeah, this podcast.
Yeah, this podcast. This is like totally new for me. I've never ever know how to set up a podcast, setting a microphone, the camera, and everything.
Yeah.
And since we are also creating a design thinking podcast to some degree, I have to kind of like research it myself, right? And I'm just so very grateful that working at Settle also have a workshop to go through those and practice it from a professional, Human Inc. last time.
Yeah.
So that was very useful. I think now previously I understand what design thinking is, but I'm not confident enough to maybe like teach other people, you know, like they're saying that if you cannot teach someone, then you don't really understand that topic.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not saying that I can teach someone now, but at least I have some confidence lah to say
Talk
that
about it. Yeah.
What is it? How A to Z, and I'm still learning, and I hope to keep learning about it.
Nice. Yeah, I think once you reach a certain years of experience as a designer, right? Like there are some certain stuff you want to refresh your knowledge. Not refresh, like more like relearn certain stuff, right? Because sometimes the same thing you learned last time is no longer the same. Like it might be the same concept, but there are some changes. Some improvement that it move over time. It progress over time that you also want to catch up.
And you even maybe once you relearn, initially maybe the first time you learn something, it might be totally different, right? Because you are coming from a fresh perspective, you are understanding ABC. But once you relearn, you have practiced some of it without realizing it, maybe.
Yeah.
So that really like strengthen the core memory or knowledge on specific topic. Yeah.
Over time, you are involved in different kind of projects. You're exposed to different kind of a problem. So now you realize, the thing that you learned last time actually useful here in this part. Yeah.
Yes.
So now you see it differently lah. Like you can see it in a holistic way a bit more. But of course, over time you forgot about it again.
Yeah. You always have to refresh lah.
Yeah. And like you said lah, if you teach other people, the emphasis of that concept will be better for you. So yeah.
There's also that saying which I really like. If you can explain a topic to a 5-year-old, then that means that you really, really understand it.
Explain in a simple way.
Yeah. You can explain, but no one understand. 5-year-old can understand means that you.
How do you explain design thinking to a 5-year-old?
Okay,
Put you on the spot there. How would you explain
to a 5-year-old?
You have a problem, you want to know how to solve it, you go ask other people. They use this, right? Like, how do you go and talk to the people who have that problem? I don't know.
You want to build a sandcastle with
Oh, okay,
your
okay.
brother, but you want to make sure that your brother also happy with it. What?
That's not a problem. Being happy with it. I think. What's the problem that 5-year-old encountered?
Yeah,
You want to go to the playground, but you keep losing your shoes. How you solve it? You build. I don't know. Okay, never mind.
okay, never mind. Cut that part.
But yeah, I mean the idea of explaining to 5-year-old. Yeah. Maybe we need to figure out how.
Yeah. Maybe at the 10th episode or 20th, you can.
Maybe we should ask that for every guest. Like, how you explain something?
Yeah, that would be interesting actually.
What are the things I learned? As a manager, being vulnerable, right? Like, you will have to experience at some point of your management career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you really put the best effort in building a team, working with your team members, there will be a time where they will leave you lah. Yeah, I actually, I don't know. Yeah, I'm being very vulnerable right now lah. But there will be there was a point when because I think in tech industry and all that, right? The turnover rate is very fast. Like people don't stay at the same company for more than like 3-4 years. Right? So when people get a better job, better opportunity, as a friend, of course, like we want to be.
You want the best for them.
Yeah, we want them to go to the best place where they can grow, right? But at the same time, as a friend, it's like, oh, you're losing people that you are very close with because you work with them every day. So as a manager, I was like, they don't like me ke? Why they want to leave me? Yeah, but that is just me being selfish lah. Right? Like I don't want to stop them from growing out there, because if the place to grow is there for them, by all means, like, they should pursue that. Yeah, so that is something that I probably learned as well, like being comfortable with people leaving, because people leave every year, like every time but there are certain people or certain group of people who are very close with you at work. When they leave, you kind of feel like a bit personal, right? Yeah, but
I feel like being dumped.
yeah, like you're breaking up with me.
Yeah.
But it's not that, because when it comes to people leaving, right? Like, I think one thing that for those who are manager out there, like, people leave for various reasons, right? One is career opportunity that sometimes you cannot really let go, right? Because if I don't take it now, I'm probably not gonna have it. For in the next few years. Or financial reason, like they wanna. There are certain phase in their life where they need a bit more money, right? Because you're getting married, getting a kid, right? So you want to have that stability. So that is their focus for that phase of their life, right? There's also people who leave because they don't like the current company or the managers. So for me as a manager, I feel like a bit grateful that none of them, I hope, leave because of the third reason. So far, when we talk about the move to different companies and all that, it's all about trying bigger things. So I'm always excited for people who go to like a bigger companies, try out all those opportunities. So so there's another personal learnings.
I can relate to that as well. Early of this year, I think a lot of my team, mobility team, had settled left. So it was quite sad as well, especially that we are very close. I think you're so close that you really trust these people, and then you don't have to micromanage. Like you really trust them. You give them full flexibility and trust. I just let you go, and then I believe that you can excel in this work. But when they leave, I feel like, oh, okay, did I
did anything wrong, right?
Yeah, did I do anything wrong? Didn't provide much support? Yeah, I understand that, but and at the same time, like you said, I think like you still want the best for them because you are so emotionally bond together with them.
Because there are scenarios where people leave to go to another company that you might feel like, are you sure you want to go there? Yeah, so, but if that's the decision, I mean, it's all them to decide lah, for them to decide.
At least if they're joining a bigger company or a better company, I always feel proud lah.
Yeah.
I know it's not because of me, but at least I feel like I've like contributed a bit.
Somehow to a certain extent, yeah.
So yeah, all the best to you guys out there. Okay. Speaking of people leaving, what's new next year, Gad? Yeah, so for me, I'll be joining a new company next year. New job. I'm very excited to join that company.
Congratulations.
Thank you
for leaving me as well.
No. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm very sad. I think I've been with Settle for 4 years.
4 years,
and 7 months.
Wow.
8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 years and 8 months now.
Because mine is 5 years. So we are not so far apart.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not very close. I think you joined slightly earlier than me. I remember, I think last time we have like 7 designers, right?
Yeah, around that.
And then we grew up to like 32
30,
designers.
Yeah.
At some point. A lot of good memories. I think working at Settle feels like home. You don't really feel like doing work. You just like come to work every day. Meeting people, just very exciting lah. Working on very, very cool feature, and still I think very cool feature, especially in Malaysia.
If you're joining a new company, maybe one thing we can talk about. I also want to know, right? Like, what is it like interviewing for a new role? This for like at least in 2024. Like what can people expect when you go for an interview as a lead product designer role? We can share a bit. How was that experience?
I cannot disclose too much detail.
Not yet,
but I can touch a bit lah. I think there were like 4 or 5 stages of interviews. I think initially it was just more like getting to know you as a person, and slowly it evolves into like eye on detail, design, your skill set, culture fit, and then I think it ended with the interview with the head of design to really like understand, I guess, your culture or you as a person, and what's the right placement for you within the company. Yeah. There was one very interesting stage where you have to kind of review an app.
Review another app?
Yeah.
Like a critique kind of thing, is it?
Exactly.
Oh, the app critique stage.
Yes.
I've read about it before. How does it work? Like, what do they actually ask
So
you
they
to do?
give you a few options.
Okay.
Maybe like famous apps like Netflix, YouTube, Shopee, Lazada, and then they ask you to choose one, and then they ask you to share your screen.
Oh, okay.
During the interview.
Do you get to choose the app earlier or during the session?
Yes, you can actually choose like 1 week earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you prepare like a slide or anything, or just share screen?
Maybe I should.
But okay. So you can just do it however you want.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, I did also ask whether I have to prepare anything. But they told me that you don't have to prepare anything. So you just come, share the screen, and just critique live. Yeah.
Is it only critique the bad stuff?
I think both.
Or do both?
It's actually, to me, it's very similar to our design critique.
Okay.
At Settle last time, right? So it feels natural to me to do it, to just essentially just complain.
That's the thing, right? You just complain about other people's app.
Yeah. It's very easy to complain about other people's app.
When you don't have
easy.
context, why?
Yeah. Especially from Malaysian, right? So it's like our second nature to complain.
But do you talk? Okay, what areas that you talk about? Like, is it only I assume like the flow, the visual design. Is there anything other than that?
Yes, exactly that. I think I believe it's gonna be different from people to people or designer. But to me, I just gather share my inputs on the an app that, because specifically the app that I chose is the worst one among all.
Cannot say. The worst
I
one.
cannot
Wow.
share.
You already said the worst one. I cannot say already lah.
I cannot share what it is, but
Can
it's
censor
very
it.
easy. I think if I share with you the list, then you know which one exactly is the worst one. It's quite famous actually, but
Okay, I know already.
yeah, but it's quite bad lah. So it's very easy for me to mention. Okay, maybe there's no consistency in the rounded corners, for example. It's just too messy. There's too many font style. It's like when you open the homepage, everything is just up there. But at the same time, when I'm mentioning all those, I also mention about the UX, the flow lah. So I go through. Okay, let's say if you tap on one of these item, you see details maybe the design is too complex and whatnot, and I also share my thoughts on maybe I'm not always right, that maybe this certain design is working right now, that's why it is what it is.
Okay.
So
How about like a business point of view? Is that something you talk about?
yes, yeah, I did share a bit on this kind of stuff, like maybe from a designer perspective, I feel like this shouldn't be here, this shouldn't be here, this is too messy, this shouldn't be here. But I also mentioned that, okay, but I understand from a business point of view, this is a very saturated market and they are competing for user attention and whatnot. And if you compare similar apps, they're almost kind of similar in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether that helped or not for me to land the job lah.
I heard about this whole step or like stage of app critic before from other friends at interviewing at other companies. Seems like a very common like a step as part of the hiring process, right? I guess it makes sense because you want to be able to know if that person have a bit of product sense on top of the design sense as well. Like you can know like how the feature was supposed to be designed or how the feature was supposed to be built a certain way. Yeah, I think that helps to gauge. Let's say as a hiring manager, at least they know how the candidate think about a certain features to the design lah. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting way to test a designer skill because essentially we are practicing in our day-to-day job as well.
Yeah.
I never thought about it to be a interview stage or task, you know. But if you think about it, when our team members are doing design critique, we always have certain expectations. You have to communicate well about your issues
design
or concerns, right? And you also have to be, to some degree, have attention to detail, right? Okay, there's an issue here that needs to be fixed and whatnot. And you can, I don't know, personally, sometimes you can also see if you can differentiate a good designer and a so-so designer. A good designer always have stuff to say, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any whiteboarding step? No.
Yeah.
All of this happen remotely lah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for those of you who are probably looking for a new job or like in the process of applying for a new role right now, that's probably something you can look at as well. I'm sure there's like a lot of videos online about how to do well in a app critic session and all that, right? Because last time I remember reading about because last time we implemented the whiteboarding challenge as part of our hiring process. So I was watching videos and reading about what's the best way to run that kind of step. So I guess now it's one of it is app critic as well.
You know, one thing I just remember that was very interesting during the interview process. I actually used ChatGPT to help me practice for the interview
before that.
Because I know.
Or you should ask ChatGPT to become the hiring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I give some instructions to ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT, you are from this, and you are your position and what are the stuff that you are hiring for. So I want you to pretend to be the interviewer and ask me questions.
Oh, okay.
And then slowly I asked the ChatGPT to increase the difficulty.
Oh. So you use the audio version or?
Audio version, yeah.
So you just talk to it?
Literally.
Nice.
So my one was just like coming into my bedroom and I was like talking and like so serious, practicing to answer all these questions. Yeah. It really helped me. So I think
it's like a mock interview but with ChatGPT lah, right?
It's so good. So good.
Well, that's one way to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of writing your script, I would never recommend writing your answer as a script. Right? But if you practice it enough, you can remember it. Okay, that's nice. I should try to do that for when I'm practicing for like presentation and all that. Like, I should just ask them to give feedback.
Yeah. Ask the ChatGPT to pretend to be an audience.
Yeah.
Who always ask questions. Who don't understand what what you're explaining.
So for you, next year is a new job.
Yes.
What's for me next year? I don't have anything in mind yet on what I want to do. I think like for example the stuff that I talk about is, like building projects in using AI tools and all that. I think I'll continue doing that for sure. I mean, just for fun, I guess. Yeah, but on top of that, I have this domain that I bought recently, productdesign.my. Surprisingly, it's available.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was inspired. No, I mean, I was part of the Friends of Figma community last time, but no longer in there. But I noticed in Singapore, there's very active community called Singapore Product Design. And they have like different countries, like Boston Product Design. I think they are all in the same umbrella or something. And I was talking to Chi Seng, one of the founder of Friends of Figma Malaysia. He used to be the committee head. I was telling him, like, why would we make Malaysia Product Design? It's the same thing, right? But I think he's on a leave right now. It's like, I don't want to do anything yet at this point. So I was like, okay lah, I'll just buy the domain first. Productdesign.my. So I posted on Twitter a few months back, like, I have this domain, what should I do, right?
Yeah.
And some suggest a place where you can. And there's few examples lah. I think this is before we started the podcast. So somebody suggested podcast.
Oh really?
Yeah. Somebody suggests a place where you can do like a live design critique session or something. Like let's say we can host a session and then people can come in and share their design, get feedback from other designers. More like a community aspect for it lah, right? Like those kind of stuff, like classes and all that. Like, it's more like a place where people can learn, I guess, together. So I was thinking like maybe next year I can spend some time looking into that. I was thinking at first it was just a page where I can list down content related to people who want to learn about product design in Malaysia, for example, right? Like maybe these are the materials that you can look at.
Yeah.
These are the companies in Malaysia who are hiring product designers. These are the podcasts you can listen to by Malaysian or the YouTubers and all that. And maybe there's a list of classes that you can join and all that. Because I know there are Malaysian designers who are hosting Figma classes and like other design classes as well, right? So maybe there's a way to consolidate it into like one. Like whenever people message me about how I want to move to product design, what should I do? I can just send them the link, right? All there. Yeah, I mean, of course, eventually if you can do like a more community events and all that, but I mean, that's probably the future phase lah. So maybe that's one thing that I want to try to do next year because I already bought the domain anyway. Yeah. So maybe that's
what I would expect lah if I go to product design. It's a place to have got all the toolkit.
Yeah. Like let's say as a beginner, these are the things for you.
All the UX laws.
Yeah, links to all the relevant stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to really focus on, let's say, the local one, right? Let's say a design. Let's say if you are new to design, like these are the companies who are hiring juniors. If you are a new manager, here are the companies hiring managers, and which companies in Malaysia are like strong in design culture that you might want to consider, or even like Southeast Asia, right? It's a one-stop center for that kind of knowledge, lah. I guess. Now that I said it here, probably have to make it work.
You have to execute lah. Sorry lah.
Yeah, but I mean that's probably one thing lah. Yeah.
Okay, I look forward to that. I don't know how do you manage to have so much time.
Probably not lah. Yeah, but need to. I need to try to make it work lah. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a bit about good and bad UX design in 2024. Maybe not tied to 2024 lah, but
recent years lah.
Yeah,
recent
what have
1-2
been
years
quite coming up recently. Let's start with the. You want to start with the bad stuff or the good stuff?
We do like rotate lah, alternate. What's good experience improvement? Or like one way to think about it is like what something that you've used or encountered this year or last year that has improved your life in a better way, like for the good stuff.
Some good user experience lah. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily be UI.
Digital product, right?
Digital product specifically. It can be multifaceted lah.
When we were talking about this just now, I was thinking of like small little things that helps you to do things better. Right? It doesn't have to be like a full-fledged product or full-fledged feature. Like maybe just small improvements you've seen or you experienced that in your life that helps you to be happier, I guess. Like for example, for me, right, like I'm at a stage where 90% of my hardwares are all using USB-C.
Yes.
So that really helps improve my life. I don't have to carry or forgot certain cables anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like one cable, like can charge my phone, can charge my
The
laptop,
struggle is real, guys.
charge my headphones.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay. But I have one device left that is not USB-C yet. But you really see the improvements in your life when you get to
When
do
you
that.
travel,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You just bring one cable and
Yeah.
then you're good.
I have one cable always in my bag whenever I go to office or work at a cafe. So it's always there. I don't have to take it out because I can use it for all. So that's one life improvement.
USB-C.
USB-C devices somehow.
Funny thing is that before, I think a few years back, I was using Samsung. And back in the days, I only have one cable USB-C. Then I moved to iPhone, right? And then I have to bring two cables everywhere.
But now it's the other way around.
I'm not on the latest iPhone yet, unfortunately. Like
soon.
So it is still a struggle for me. But I totally understand where you're coming from. To me, I would say the cashless aspect.
Being cashless.
In Malaysia, right? Even the mom and pop stalls, the hawker stalls, they all accept QR payment now. Do it now. So, oh my god, like I literally not bringing any cash anymore.
When's the last time you went to
Pay
ATM?
with cash.
You went to ATM?
Oh man, I cannot remember.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. Okay, there's a funny story lah. I was driving at the time, going to eat by myself. I forgot why. I was like, I don't have to have cash. Like, I don't even bring my wallet, right? So I was eating at that shop while watching video. I was eating, and then my battery died.
Oh no.
I was like, it's okay, I'll just eat. And then when I go, I totally forgot about the whole cashless thing. It's like, now I want to go pay. I don't have any money with me. I cannot even pay.
Because your phone is dead.
Yeah. I was like, bang, saya pergi charge dalam kereta kejap. I went to the car and charged my phone. Then I realised, I've been bragging about not bringing any cash. There's still one point I have to take care of the battery life.
Yeah.
I was searching for like extra money in my car. Cannot find. But yeah, I mean, in general, being cashless.
Yeah. It's amazing until you really have to pay with cash.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember I was going to a hardware store, and then I bought like a small screw, and then the screw only cost like 2 ringgit or something, and then I want to pay via QR, right? And then the store say, 2 ringgit is too small.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you pay with QR, then we are paying too much fee for that.
I thought they don't have pay fee. Maybe got.
I don't know, but I was like, okay, whatever. But then I don't have cash, so I cannot pay, and then end up I have to. There's one app that they can pay with that does not charge the small fee, and then I suddenly have to top up and then pay. It's like, oh my god, that's like one small screw. That was a bit of a trouble, and also the 12 a.m. limit sometimes.
This slowly turning into from good things for cashless to a bad thing. Yeah, but it's good for most of the time.
Yes.
But there are certain quotes.
I guess the good part is like 80% of the time or 90% of the time lah. Yeah.
Because I don't really bring my wallet.
Apple Wallet is amazing. Finally in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Last time I used it on Samsung Pay, I think. Yeah. So.
Oh man, it's so easy to pay for stuff now.
Easy.
But no, I mean like just tap every time. I'm like, wow, I spend so much money.
And the experience is really good also, right?
You didn't realize you're paying actually. You're just realizing after like 1 month you not pay for your credit card. Like, actually I pay so much. I wonder how the cashless thing works for elder people. Like, Do you see your parents using it as well?
No.
No, right?
No. Elders hate cashless.
Right.
Simply because they just don't understand tech and they don't want to take risks about being scammed and whatnot. At least that's my experience lah. Maybe I'm pretty sure there's auntie uncle out there who's like very tech aware.
Yeah, but I understand it's a bit difficult to change that behavior lah, right? Once you are used to certain payment method and all that, you don't really want to change that much, especially when it comes to money lah.
Other good stuff, guy.
Other good stuff.
I think the Touch and Go NFC was pretty great.
Oh yeah, man. Like I remember last time when you have to go to petrol station just to top up your Touch and Go card.
Don't remember.
Oh man, I remember last time that I forgot to top up. I don't know. I feel like I have to park. The guy asked me to park in front of the toll and walk to the nearest station.
Oh man, yeah.
I was like, wow.
Because they don't want to help you. So
they cannot. I mean, of course, you cannot just let people go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the NFC card, although the top up experience sometimes is a bit sluggish, but the idea of not going to a shop,
you even have to step out of your car.
Yeah, I mean, like you can just, because this normally happens when you are inside a parking, right? Like I want to pay for the parking, but at least I can just stop by the side. I mean, stay inside the parking and then just top up first.
And just continue with your way.
Yeah. But what do you think about the RFID on Touch and Go for parking? For tolls, sorry.
I actually don't use RFID.
You don't? Yeah, same. Yeah, I think one thing, okay, this can be inside the bad list lah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you think about it, right, when you use RFID for tolls, right, when something wrong happened that doesn't detect or what, you have to reverse your car. Like you probably have to go to another lane.
Because it cannot detect.
Yeah, let's say it cannot detect for whatever reason. But if you use the Touch and Go card with a smart tap, the experience is more or less the same. You just drive through, right? You can top up with the app, you can deduct your e-wallet. But if something happened that it doesn't detect your smart tap, you can just tap your Touch and Go card to proceed, right? So the failure loop or like a closure there is available compared to RFID, where if it's failed,
there's alternative for user to recover from errors.
If something happened, you can still proceed. RFID, you have to leave the lane or use another lane. That's what I understand. I don't know if there's a different way to do it now, but it feels like it's not recovery proof. I don't know. Yeah. So that's a bit. I always wonder about that, like why people don't use the smart tag NFC card more versus RFID.
Speaking of which, one of the good experience that I really enjoy, self-plug, the settle automated parking.
Plug your own product.
I really like it, especially where I live.
Maybe explain a bit what is settle automated parking.
So, settle automated parking essentially is a license plate recognition system where you just have to top up your e-wallet, settle wallet, and then just enter and exit the parking at malls, for example, without even have to lower your window. It's really just like scan car and go.
Yeah. I think there's also a lot of this in different places outside of Settle. Like I think if you go to Sunway, they already use the license plate recognition system, and you have to pay through the QR code and all that, right? But I guess the advantage of Settle's version that
it's truly automated.
You don't really have to even pay lah. You
don't even have to look at your phone essentially. Yeah. I heard that live activities are coming out soon.
Yes.
For the future.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Speaking of Settle, I think for me, this is so biased, man. Like we're talking about the good stuff about Settle. The one tap feeling lah. Yeah, I mean, last time, for those who use Settle, like you have to choose your pump, choose the amount, choose the payment method, and pay, right? So there's this feature called one tap feeling, but basically just choose a pump and everything is automated. Everything is like already set up earlier. So for those people who like comparing Settle with credit card, for example, it's actually like pretty much the same. Like if you have your phone on the card, the phone holder already, just press on the pump number, then you can just walk out immediately. So that's one improvement you can think of in terms of experience.
I understand the argument saying that it's similar to credit card, but I think it's just so much better. You can already like settle your pump inside your car.
Yeah, I think for me, I was already, the app is already open when I was driving into the station.
Yeah.
And I just press the number immediately. Yeah. You don't have to like, look at the card and all that.
You just press the number on the homepage and then, okay, you can pick up your nozzle. So
yeah, you can link to your credit card, no need to top up your wallet.
And then you get Mercer points directly.
Oh, this is really an ad. This is not sponsored by Settle.
This is not sponsored by Settle, okay?
Okay, speaking of more digital products,
yes.
I think on Grab app, right? I use the Grab food feature a lot, right, to order food and all that. One thing I noticed, I don't know when they added this, but if you scroll when you are looking for things to order or like places to order from, there's this small label that says ordered before. I kind of like that because sometimes I don't really remember the name of the restaurant, or if I look at the items, at least I can see whether if I ordered at this place before. Most of the time I will remember whether they are good or bad, but I don't have to go to like payment history to look at it again. So if that label is kind of helpful also lah, in terms of deciding which option I should go with. I think that is an example of like small improvement that helps your experience, right?
Yeah, I don't really use it that much, but I remember when I used it, it was very useful because not specifically because I don't remember where I bought, but more like sometimes I don't know what to eat lah. Kan? But then
because like for me, like if I want to eat the exact thing again,
yeah,
but I forgot the name,
the
name of the shop, that helps lah.
Well, I mean, like for me, it's more like it gave me some ideas what to order. Sometimes you just want to eat, you don't want to like explore the app to figure out what to eat. So that kind of helps. Okay, I just order what I ordered last time. I'm sure that I ordered last time was a good order lah.
Yeah lah. I know there's a feature for favorite and all that, but I rarely use it. So this reduce that step. Like I don't have to favorite a restaurant. You just tell me. Yeah, this reminds me of there's few website that does this before. Remember imagine you are going to a website that you haven't logged in for so long, and you go to the login page, you'll see like Google login, Facebook login, email and all that, and you forgot which one you use. There's this pattern that some of the websites use last time, they put a label there, you used this before.
Yeah.
So it's because they can track what you used last time.
Yeah.
So that actually one example of like one small label.
Yeah, we should have that for everything.
Yeah, I mean for those websites that have multiple login options, right?
Yeah.
Just tell me which one I used last time based on my browsing history. You're already tracking me anyway.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll be creating a new account.
That's right. Yeah, I'll be creating multiple accounts. Man. It just happened to me today. Any more bad stuff or good stuff?
Oh yeah, I think tactile buttons is missing in EV cars. Not just EV actually.
New cars.
Yeah.
Tactile,
what's going on, guys? When you're driving, you don't essentially
want to see
or look at the infotainment display and know where to tap. Without tactile, I mean, this is like design 101, right?
What is it called?
Affordance. Yeah.
You cannot remember a certain position, but now with the digital screen, the screen changes, right? Like the position is not always at the same place if you are on the different screen. Yeah.
I mean, I understand where they're coming from. I guess they are really pushing for the users to use the AI or like the assistant, the voice assistant.
Oh, really?
Hey, open the window, turn down the aircon, turn up the aircon. But we all know,
it's not as easy as pressing right button. Right?
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to do something very quickly, just with the one tap, even without looking at the screen, right? Yeah. Right now, you can just know exactly. Like for my car, I know 2 clicks means that it's like 1 degree Celsius.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah.
I think there's some cars that are coming back with a balance of both.
Yes.
Those those functions that you probably want to change often, like those climate control, like aircon, volumes and all that, have to be a tactile button, right? Like some stuff, like maybe those switching songs and all that. I mean, like choosing what song to listen to can be more infotainment display. I think the idea of all buttons like the old cars probably not gonna come back, but at least that's a balance, lah, right? You have, if you want to have a big screen, give some tactile button as well, lah.
Yes. Yeah.
Agree.
I remember there's a project that I saw on YouTube where they combine, I don't know, this creator, should I
The
say?
iPad app, right?
No, he created like a knob, a circle knob. And then that knob, you can tap to switch between different modes, for example. And that knob, depending on what you choose, it can control the friction. So it can be like a 0 to 1, or it can be an infinite loop. And it can even be a magnetic. Let's say you twist like 100 degree, and then it just snap back to 0 degree. I really like those kind of idea where you kind of combine tactile feedback of buttons with digital aspect of it. Yeah, I hope to see more of that.
Yeah, that's why I think that balance, like, it's not always good when everything is like, what's it called? Do you call it like a non-tactile buttons? It's like a digital buttons.
The beauty of digital buttons is that you can put more. I don't know.
Yeah, you can have different buttons at different screens. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, lah. Hopefully, we can get to experience more good experience in 2025.
Yes.
Have to look for it. Okay. What to expect in our next episode, Baim?
Okay, so we have a very special guest in our next episode 4. He come all the way from Europe, Amsterdam. Wow. So
just for
it's
us.
very hard to grab this person. You know, he was supposed to be our first guest, but it's okay.
Finally back in Malaysia, right?
Finally back in Malaysia. A very long schedule to get him here. So do look forward to our episode 4 in January.
Yep.
Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any new updates or the new upcoming episode. Okay.
Also, make sure to follow our social media accounts. We have Instagrams and TikTok. This is where we post our short version of the podcast as well, the clips and all that. So make sure to follow there and like and share all of the videos. It's very tiring to create all those things. So make sure to support.
It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's how you can get your friends to also watch the full video. Just share the short clips. It's fine.
And then, as always, guys, if you have any feedbacks or comments, we are open to any suggestions. So please share with us, because we also want to improve this podcast experience so that it is something useful for you guys.
So just leave some comments, or even DM us in all those accounts. We'll make sure to read all of them.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, guys. See you next year. Bye-bye.
See you next year. Bye.